Hey there, Meg.
Hey, Jackie.
Yeah, you got some weird stories?
I do. You know I do.
All right. Well, this is Florida Person Podcast, and we've got the weird news for you today.
Weird news from all over the world.
Florida.
Florida person. Florida person. Florida person.
All right. So let's get into it. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I'm gonna start with a little one, and I'm gonna send you the I'm gonna text you this link. You have to see the picture. You have to see the picture of this creature that is in the article I'm going to send you.
Okay. All right.
So.
I'm excited to see it.
All right. This is from my favorite website, upi.com. Odd News. This is another Ben Hooper article, my favorite odd news reporter. And this is Idaho Zoo's 60-year-old spider monkey might be world's oldest. And his name is Elvis. And as you can see, his picture.
Oh my god, well, we're gonna put the link to it in the show notes, but I feel like there was a better picture of this monkey. I feel like they did the monkey a little dirty with this picture.
He's got beautiful blue eyes like Daniel Craig, but that's a terrible picture of a spider monkey.
He looks like Rudy Giuliani.
It says July 6th, an Idaho zoo threw a birthday party for a black-handed spider monkey who officials said might be the world's oldest member of his species at age 60. Zoo Boise threw a birthday party for spider monkey Elvis and an Aldraba tortoise named Mr. Mac, who turned 100. The zoo said Elvis is estimated to be about 60 years old, which could make him the oldest spider monkey in the world. Spider monkeys in captivity generally live to 20 to 40. Zoo officials said they are in the process of verifying Elvis's age, but his history is difficult to track. The primate came to the facility from the Denver Zoo after being donated by a private individual. How do you verify Elvis's age?
I don't know. Is there carbon dating for monkeys? I don't know.
Do they have to do like Angeline and do a art, they have to track down everyone Elvis has ever known, and they have to interview and figure out his tragic backstory?
Wait, so where is this monkey at? What zoo was it?
Idaho and Zoo Boise. Is it
Okay.
Boise or is it Boise, Idaho?
Boise. It's Boise.
Boise.
Yeah.
Zoo Boise.
Zoo Boise. Oh, wow. I was at the Zoo of the Plains in North Dakota. It could have been South Dakota. One of the Dakotas. I'm going to say South Dakota. And they had a spider monkey that was just born, and it was bouncing around. So,
Aww.
The plains are, they've got some spider monkey action. I don't know.
And it's crazy because they say that Elvis turned 60 and also a tortoise named Mr. Mac turned 100, but he's no picture of him in this article.
Yeah, but for a tortoise, that's not that big of a deal. There's a lot of tortoises that are 100, so they're yeah, and I guess it's a milestone. I don't know. He can drive now.
I guess so.
It is weird that they made them share a birthday, though. They had to share a celebration.
Yeah.
When I was in middle school, there's a kid on my street that had to share his birthday party with their pet bird. And I don't know whose idea it was, but the pet bird's birthday and picture was bigger on the invite.
I feel like I saw an episode of Wife Swap where it was a boy and his stepmother had a bird, and the bird was being treated like a sibling, and it was real weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't know. I guess celebrate your pets and everything, but let your kid have its own birthday. Let the monkey have its own birthday without the tortoise. Do it separately. All right.
Maybe that's why his face looks like that. I have to share my birthday with Mr. Mac.
Yeah, he's what the hell? I don't even know that guy that well. We're on different sides of the zoo. All right. So this one's a little topical because of, what's going on in Ukraine and everything right now. So the G7 summit just happened, and I guess like Vladimir Putin, like somebody like razzed him about having so many shirtless photos. And he clapped back. He clapped back because he's got nothing else to do, apparently. Because there are, if you Google Vladimir Putin shirtless, there's like hundreds, and he's just like doing things, like he's riding horses, he's lifting weights, he's like looking off into the distance. It's weird. And the guy's pretty old. He's pretty old, and I think he's sick. He's sick as well. That's what we're hearing.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's got like his face looks like it's completely filled with fillers. So he's that old man thing where it's like the skin is smooth because it's just filled up so much.
Yeah, he's a ridiculous looking person as well as being an awful human being. So this is coming from the AP, and the AP says Russian President Vladimir Putin shot back at Western leaders who mocked his athletic exploits, saying they would look disgusting if they tried to emulate his bare torso appearances. Putin made the comment during a visit to Turkmenistan early Thursday when asked about Western leaders joking about him at the G7 summit. That's right, dude. You are a joke.
You are.
So as they sat down for talks, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, although today former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson,
take that,
jested that, Boris, you're done. Jested that G7 leaders could take their clothes off to show we're tougher than Putin amid Russia-West tensions over Moscow's military action in Ukraine. Then, Canadian Premier Justin Trudeau joked that Western leaders could try to match Putin's naked torso pictures with a bare-chested horseback riding display. So they're not getting anything done. They're just sitting here, like, doing quips. They're doing... It's like this... They're like... We sent all these guys to one place to, like, solve problems, and they're just sitting around just, like, doing bits.
It's like the shade room on Drag Race.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like the after, like, special. It's literally just that. This is Untucked. This is just Untucked with all the Western leaders. And so Putin retorted, unlike him, Western leaders abuse alcohol and don't do sports.
Ooh, well.
He said, I don't know how they wanted to get undressed above or below the waist, but I think it would be a disgusting sight in any case.
Jeez.
And I'm going to say he's not totally wrong. I think of all, Justin Trudeau probably looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
no. But honestly,
I'm gonna say,
he's saying that everywhere else has an alcohol problem, but Russia is just...
Yeah, I think Russia is an alcohol problem.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think that's right. So, I don't know who won that round, but I think everybody lost that round because on top of it all, there's just like pictures of Putin in this article shirtless. And
that's what we were forced to see again.
Yeah, I didn't need that. Also, his horse in this picture that I'm looking at looks like he hates him.
Well, horses, so.
Yeah, he feels that like he's a bad guy.
Oh, God. And Boris Johnson's the one that started it. Gosh, he's not my favorite Boris. I liked Boris Yeltsin better.
Who's Boris Yeltsin?
He was like the former Russia prime minister from a long time ago. There's like a very famous moment in history where President Bill Clinton went over to Russia and they both drank too much vodka. Of course. And they're like giggling and they're both red and giggling. And
I think Boris,
classic moment.
I think that Boris is an excellent name for like a chubby cat.
Yeah.
Or like a bulldog or a pug or some like dog that looks unnatural.
A hamster too. I think that would be good.
That would be funny, like a chubby hamster.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's where we're gonna leave that.
Okay. I'm really excited to send you this link because I think that this is the cutest little story. After everything that's going on in the news, we need a heartwarming story like this. This is Reuters, and this says, Mexican mayor marries alligator as part of ancient ritual.
What?
Did you get it yet?
What?
Mexican mayor marries alligator as part of ancient ritual.
Okay. All right, I'm intrigued.
Says, a Mexican mayor of a small town ties the knot with his alligator bride, an ancient tradition to pray for nature's abundance. As traditional music rang out and revelers danced, they implored the indigenous leader to seal the nuptials with a kiss. San Pedro Huamelula mayor Victor Hugo Sosa obliged more than once during Thursday's wedding, bending down to plant his lips on the small alligator's snout, which had been tied shut, presumably to avoid unwanted biting.
Okay, I was wondering, because we know that there's a big difference between, as Florida girls, we know that there is a big difference between an alligator that's just like running wild and an alligator that's being held by somebody with its taped up mouth. If it's taped up, it's totally safe, guys.
If it's taped up and it's wearing a white little wedding dress with a little veil.
Oh my God.
Yes.
No.
The ritual of marriage likely dates back centuries to pre-Hispanic times among Oaxaca state Chontal and Uave indigenous communities. We ask nature for enough rain, for enough food, that we have fish in the river, said Sosa, mayor of the small fishing village. On Oaxaca's steamy Pacific coast, Oaxaca, located in Mexico's south, is arguably the country's richest in indigenous culture and home to many groups that have maintained their languages and traditions. The age-old ritual in San Pedro, now mixed with Catholic spirituality, involves dressing the alligator or caiman in a white wedding dress, plus other colorful garments. The 7-year-old reptile, referred to as a little princess, is believed to be a deity representing Mother Earth, and her marriage to the local leader symbolizes the joining of humans with the divine. As trumpets blared and drums provided a festive beat, locals carried the alligator bride in their arms through village streets as men fanned it with their hats. It gives me so much happiness and makes me so proud of my roots, said Elia Edith Aguilar, known as the godmother who organized the wedding. She said she feels privileged to be entrusted with carrying out the ceremony and noted she spent a lot of time fretting over what the bride would wear. It's a very beautiful tradition, she added with a smile. Did you get the little picture?
Wow, I'm gonna look at it right now, and
it's like the cutest little alligator.
Oh my gosh, she is adorable.
It's so darling. It's so sweet. It has
she looks so classy.
Yeah.
She kind of looks like she's a glowing bride. She's just like, she's grinning. She's loving this.
I know.
She's either loving it or she's going, what is going on? I have no idea.
She's like, this is hilarious.
There could be a part where she's just like, I was kidnapped. I am a child bride. Because she is small.
She's tiny. She's so tiny.
She's so cute, though. I would definitely fan her with my hat. I would fan her with any hat I had because I love her. I love this alligator.
I love her.
Oh, she's so cute. Oh, my God.
Little Princess. Ooh, that's what they should do. They should do a remake of The Little Princess and have it star this little alligator.
I think that there needs to be more stories that substitute alligators for people. You know how you had the rescuers that were, it's the mice or Chip and Dale are little chipmunks, but they act like little people.
Yeah,
do that with alligators.
Yeah.
Do it more with alligators. You had that big alligator from Princess and the Frog, but I'm gonna say I didn't like him. I don't care for him.
I want a little tiny alligator.
I want that beautiful. She's a beautiful little alligator. I love her. And she's just like, what is happening? What's going on?
I love her little flowers, like her little veil.
She's very cute. Well, if you wanna switch gears here, because that was some adorable, very fun animal news. We're gonna go back to the zoo for some more zoo news. But this one, it's a sad zoo news. This is some sad zoo news, all right?
Okay.
All right, so this is coming out of San Francisco. Oldest melangenic? It's like the melangenic?
How do you spell it?
Magellan. It's the Magellan penguin, but they're saying it Magellanic. It's a Magellan penguin. That's the breed. But they're making this way too hard.
Why did they do that?
All right, so I'm going to just say the oldest Magellan penguin at San Francisco Zoo dies at age 40.
Aww.
So it's not a birthday, it's a funeral, it's a death announcement.
No.
So the oldest Magellan penguin at the San Francisco Zoo and Gardens, one of the oldest penguins living under human care anywhere in the world. I feel like there's a lot of people with pet penguins that might dispute that.
Yeah.
Died Wednesday at the age of 40. So this was back in early May. So it's the bird is dead. The bird's definitely
Long
dead.
Gone.
But here's the thing. So the estimated age of the male, whose name was Captain EO.
Aww.
Which is a great name.
Oh, yes.
That's a great name for a penguin. Was well over the species' average life expectancy of 20 to 30 years. So this was, this is an ancient bird, but well taken care of, I suppose. Or maybe just using like the Captain EO
wait a
magic.
second. Did Captain EO come out 40 years ago?
No.
Wait a second.
Well,
okay.
yes.
How does he have a name that's Captain EO and Captain EO came out in 1986?
No, maybe they renamed him.
Or is Captain EO a character?
Maybe they renamed. It says that Captain EO was named for a 1980s Michael Jackson short film that was at a Disneyland attraction, and he was the last remaining founding member of the zoo's Magellan penguin colony.
But what was his name before that?
I feel like he probably could have been like, maybe he was born at, it doesn't say that he was born at the San Francisco Zoo. So he might have been born somewhere else and they were like, this is Dave. And they were like, we're going to rename this penguin. And like, how they ask like the public.
Oh, yeah. That's true. I did that with Malcolm when he was called Tripod because he had 3 legs. And I said, no, you were going to have a proper name.
Rude.
Malcolm Maurice.
Yes, so rude. I think people do that. I renamed Scooter, my cat, to Scooter after he had been named Idris.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like...
He's a Scooter.
Yeah, Idris is a fine name, but when you look at this cat, like, that's not an Idris. That's a Scooter. No. That's a Scooter bear. So it said that the aging animal had lost much of his eyesight and hearing and needed special feeding techniques. So Captain EO arrived at the zoo in 1984 when 52 penguins were brought to the zoo to found a colony on Penguin Island, a habitat that includes a large outdoor pool along with burrows and rocky landscapes to mimic their native habitat. Oh, it said he had the personality of an older, sophisticated gentleman. And I believe that. I believe that. He did not partake in the usual shenanigans of stealing fish from others or pushing his way through the crowd for fish. Instead, he would quietly and politely sit on the rocky beach and wait his turn for his meal, then go out and swim or go home. He was one of a kind. He had 26 children, 31 grandchildren, and 8 great-grandchildren. So...
Oh, wow.
Oh.
A stately bird.
And we'll just end this with a quote from his keeper, Quinn Brown, who said, He represented a part of San Francisco Zoo history and the penguin world that cannot ever be forgotten. I agree.
Aw.
Captain EO, I don't know, maybe Animal of the Week because I love you.
Aw.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Captain EO.
Captain EO. Oh,
Amazing.
what a sweet penguin.
So sweet. He sounds like a really good guy because I've watched a lot of animal shows and it does seem like continuously these penguins are like beating on each other for some fish, and it's like, guys,
Yeah, they're nasty.
they have fish for everybody. They have fish for everybody.
There's a video I saw yesterday on Twitter that had, I guess because of, I don't know, cutbacks at some Japanese zoo, they got fish that were, I guess, cheaper, and they were feeding them to the penguins, and the penguins were like, no, thank you. They're like turning their heads, and they're like, no, we are not eating that. Picky penguins.
Wow. Not the time, penguins. Not the time for it. Very funny though. All right, you got another here?
I do. This is like a historical nature story in Florida. I remember there was a special about this very incident that made me just absolutely sick. And this is from 2005, and this is Python bursts after eating gator
Oh, yes.
by
Yes,
Victoria.
I think we've all seen a picture of this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By Victoria Gilman. This is a National Geographic. In Everglades National Park, a python was found dead with its midsection split open, revealing a mostly intact dead gator. Did this python take on more than it could handle? Unfortunately, for a 13-foot Burmese python in Florida's Everglades National Park, eating the enemy seems to have caused the voracious reptile to bust a gut. Literally. Wildlife researchers with the South Florida Natural Resource Center found the dead headless python in October 2005 after it apparently tried to digest a 6-foot-long American alligator. The mostly intact dead gator was found sticking out of a hole in the midsection of the python, and wads of gator skin were found in the snake's gastrointestinal tract. A gruesome discovery suggests that the python's feisty last meal might have been simply too much for it to handle. And then they have an alternative theory here that says an animated recreation of the python-alligator battle suggests that the python might have survived its massive meal, but that a second gator came to the rescue and bit off the snake's head.
What?
The force of the tussle, the new theory says, is what caused the python to burst.
But why would another gator step in?
Well, that's what they're thinking. It says, but even scientists associated with the show aren't so sure the new theory holds water. Wayne King, reptile curator at the Florida Museum of Natural History in Gainesville, Florida, cites the relatively clean decapitation of the snake. Alligators, they don't bite off a piece, he told McClatchy newspapers. They grab hold, then they roll and spin. If one grabs you by the arm, normally they wrench the arm off, or if they grab you by the buttocks, they'll rip away a chunk of meat. Clashes between alligators and pythons have been on the rise in the Everglades for the past 20 years. Unwanted pet snakes dumped in the swamp have thrived, and the Asian reptile is now a major competitor in the alligator's native ecosystem. Clearly, if pythons can kill an alligator, they can kill other species, Frank Mazzotti, a University of Florida wildlife professor, told the Associated Press. There had been some hope that alligators can control Burmese pythons. This event indicates to me that it's going to be an even draw.
Wow. But I don't think we ever got another one. This
No.
was like a really big deal, and I remember it being on like Reddit
Everywhere.
and like on Facebook and like all over the place, and people were like, this is crazy. But I don't think we ever found another one. I find it surprising that any other alligator would see an alligator getting, like, eaten and be like, I have to step in.
Let me avenge what's going on.
Yeah, because I feel like alligators are normally like, that sucks, dude, but, like, I'm literally all about doing my own thing.
Maybe he just wanted to eat the head. Did he eat the head? Was the head completely gone?
I don't know. Wait, look at the picture.
This is a really gross picture.
Do you remember, this was all around the time that Discovery Channel had that, like, bait and switch thing where they're like, eaten alive. This man is gonna get eaten alive by a snake, like an anaconda or something, on TV. And we're gonna do a minute by minute of him getting eaten alive. And everybody's like, are they really doing this? And everybody was tuned in. And then they're like, we got you all here. We're not gonna do it.
We're not gonna do it. Tricked ya.
We're not gonna do it. This was just a ruse. We're not gonna have this guy get eaten alive. Because why would we do that? Why would we do that?
And everybody was so upset. We're like, disappointed.
Everybody was really mad.
We're so disappointed.
So mad about
Why
it.
won't you do it?
It was so mad.
We want our
But
money
Discovery
back.
Channel sucks now.
Oh.
Discovery Channel sucks. Even Shark Week is just reruns.
Discovery Channel is just like reality shows now, I think.
Yeah, it's just like ancient aliens and like Pawn Stars and stuff.
90 Day Fiance on there too?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think it is Discovery Plus.
I guess you are discovering these things, but like, geez. Get it together, Discovery. Get the guy. If they came back and they're like, we're really gonna do it. We're gonna feed this guy to a snake, eaten alive, and then they actually did it, they would have a big comeback. You gotta feed some producer to a snake, and you're gonna come back from it, baby.
I bet one day they'll do that. I bet one day.
If they do, they have my money. I will buy Discovery Plus or whatever their streaming platform is. So I'm putting it out there into the universe. If Discovery Plus wants my money, feed somebody to a snake.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Okay, here's my last story. Now, this is more of an update. This is from the Miami Herald. But it's recent update. So they have, like, I guess a section where you can ask the Miami Herald, like, what about this weird thing in Florida? Because it's a, it's a common occurrence to be like, I was concerned about this thing in my state. And then they try and explain it and give you a little information. So the question that was posed to the Miami Herald was, how many insurance claims have there been in South Florida due to frozen iguanas that fall from trees/structures?
Oh, I didn't know you could even... What's there to claim?
Well, so, like an iguana, those big iguanas, so in the wintertime.
Oh, okay.
In the wintertime, when we have like a cold snap in Florida, it can get down into like the 40s and sometimes at night even almost to like below freezing just for like a little bit, not for that long. But, iguanas are invasive all throughout Florida. They're all over the place. If you go to Florida, there's like this iguana city.
Yep.
And some of them are really big. Some of them are like 4 feet long. And they probably weigh like 30 pounds or so. And they get up into the trees. And so they're from South America where even the winter, or I guess it's the summer for them, right? Because it's South America.
Yeah, it's like opposite.
Yeah. So where they're from, it doesn't get cold enough for them to freeze. But iguanas apparently freeze super easy. So when we have a cold snap in Florida, they're up in the trees, they freeze, and then they fall onto people, causing, concussions.
What?
They can fall onto your car and dent your car.
I never thought of that. I just never thought of that. But that would be so painful and destructive.
They can cause accidents of them, falling out of a tree and, startling a driver. So there are a number of insurance claims each year in South Florida due to frozen iguanas that fall from trees/structures. So it says, in South Florida, we don't just have the risk of bird poop landing on our car whenever we park under a tree. We have iguanas, too. While the iguanas are strong climbers, Zoo Miami spokesperson Ram Miguel says climbing is an instinct. Iguanas have to avoid predators while they sleep at night. The critters tend to freeze and fall out of trees whenever temperatures dip into the 40s. And you might wake up to an iguana popsicle on your windshield. Ooh, I bet it could
Oh.
crack the windshield. Because it is, like,
Yeah.
if they fall from a significant height, that's like 30, 40 pounds. That's just,
Yeah. Just
smacking
like
into it.
weight. Dead weight just dropping.
Yeah, State Farm says it has seen a vast array of auto damage caused by animals in the U.S. over the years, including crashes involving chickens, alligators, cows, and even bats.
Ooh.
The most common animal involved in crashes, not surprisingly, is deer. But when it comes to falling iguanas damaging your hood or windshield, well, that's a new one. Auto damage from animals actually is not uncommon, although falling iguanas may be solely a South Florida phenomenon, said Michael Brower, a spokesperson for State Farm in Florida. Florida saw about 50,800 collision claims between July 2020 and June 2021, according to State Farm analysis published in October. But State Farm says they don't have specific data on falling iguanas. So it's just a bait and switch. We'll never know. We're never going to know.
Oh, we're never gonna know.
But we do know that people have claimed it. I feel like, that commercial for farmers insurance where they're like, we're farmers. We've seen everything. And they have some goofy skit of somebody doing something stupid and messing up someone's car.
Yeah.
Why is this not a commercial yet?
Make this commercial already.
It should just be a big fat iguana who's frozen solid, who falls out of a tree and just blasts apart a windshield.
Is it because they think that it would be an attack on Geico because Geico's a lizard and they're like, oh, we don't want to start?
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to start some beef, but I feel like companies always start beef.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't sign up for an insurance company without every other insurance company being like, hey, man, hey, what about us, though? Do you want to come over?
Exactly.
They all know. I hate getting quotes because you get called, for the next 3 days straight by, insurance people.
We almost got you. We got you. We got you interested. Come on.
It's the worst. It's the worst. Ugh, man. We had a real bad cold snap once when I was a kid, and we had this wooden deck outside, and I guess there were a lot of iguanas that would go under the deck and hang out under the deck.
Just hang out.
And we had this one tiny cat named Bebe, and Bebe used to go under there during the cold snaps and drag out these frozen iguanas, and she'd try and drag them through the cat door, but they were too big.
What?
And she'd get them halfway through and just give up. And you'd wake up and there'd be a half frozen iguana halfway in the house. Just,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a grisly sight.
It was very, and you knew because all the other cats were just gathered around and they're like, look at this, check this out.
Here's a gift.
Yeah.
That's a big gift. That is a very thoughtful cat.
Yeah. Well, she tried. She also gave up on it. She's like, I can't even, somebody's going to have to move it the rest of the way. I did the majority of the work. I did the lion's share. Step up. Get this in here. Let's go.
Oh, man. My cats never bring me anything like that. Malcolm Maurice just brings me this little red mouse that he adores. That's from a Target Christmas variety cat toy pack from 3 years ago. That's just a little red fabric mouse that he brings, and he is so proud of it. He thinks he's killing it over and over and over again.
Oh,
yeah.
He's a very cute cat. All right, well, I am still going to say Animal of the Week was Captain EO the Penguin. Rest in peace, R.I.P.
I think so. I think that he was just such a gentleman, the way he waited for his fish patiently.
Yeah, but from the vault, my favorite from the vault is I'll never stop seeing. I can see the picture in my head of the snake with the alligator protruding out of its body.
Yeah, it's really gross. I mean, when you first look at it, it just looks like one giant creature. It all kind of blends in.
Oh, man. See, that's from the vault and snake news.
Yes.
And Florida news all in one.
All in one. I found a story that could touch all the topics.
Yeah, it's touching a lot of stuff. So it's checking the boxes. All right. Well, that's all our stories from this week. If you need to get a hold of us for any reason at all, or if you have a story you would like to send us, you can send it to our Gmail. It's Florida Person Podcast at gmail.com, but Florida is just FL. So FL Person Podcast, all one word, at Gmail.
Yeah.
And with that,
Yeah.
we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Florida Person. Florida Person. Florida Person.